Oh, wait. Hey, guys. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, hello. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you're having an amazing Tuesday so far. We've got an interview with Dr. Matthew Hitchcock from Hitchcock Family Medicine. He's going to be joining us to talk about how Ember can benefit him and his employees in the office. So be sure to like and share this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. We're going to have a Q&A at the end. We're going to try to tackle work-related questions first, but we can get to other ones as we go through. So yeah, hope you enjoy this interview. Just again, be sure to drop those comments down below, any questions that you have throughout the video, and we'll get to them. So here is Dr. Hitchcock.
So I backed Ember after back in the Hot Pocket because I really think this single layer, the heating element for this jacket will help me tremendously in the outdoors. I love being outdoors. Chattanooga is the perfect place for being outdoors. But I have definitely had a few nights and a few mornings where I've been cold, getting up and out of my sleeping bag and not wanting to get out of my hammock for it. And I think having the ability to kind of blast that heat when you're getting up in the morning and then kind of cut it back to low kind of as you're getting up and moving is, I think, going to be absolutely amazing and maybe a game changer for some of my outdoor adventures here. So I'm Dr. Matthew Hitchcock, Hitchcock Family Medicine. We've been here in practice for 4 years now. Moved back to Chattanooga and opened this practice, trying to take care of folks that have difficulties with insurance. A lot of doctors' offices, urgent cares, hospitals, the HVA systems are very efficient and it tends to be a little on the colder side. So a lot of times, even in the hospital, even in the summer, I'll wear a jacket or wear something like that. And a lot of my employees do here. And in fact, one of mine here, she actually has a heater under her desk all summer pointed at her for it. And I think something like this in that work environment would be fantastic because you can have a lighter layer. And if you need that extra kind of hit of heat, you hit the button and you get a nice little shot of heat to kind of keep you going for it. Or you can put it on the low setting and kind of keep you warm throughout the day for it. I think it's going to be fantastic for that. I think just about anyone that works indoors in an office, because you hear the joke that the coldest season a lot of times is summer in the air conditioning for it, and then also just anyone that works outdoors in those either the shoulder seasons or in the winter, I think will do really well with this jacket, helping keep them warm for not having big bulky layers. Because I know folks with a lot of jobs having big layers, it's going to be hard for them to do their job. This way you can condense it down, single layer, and actually have the heat that you need to stay warm and stay comfortable while you're doing your job. Like I said, definitely outdoors. Sporting events, I think this is going to be great, especially kind of later in the season. I think some football games, some of those cold football games, this will be great because a lot of them, it might start off cold or start kind of warm and then kind of go into cold throughout the day. So I think something like this where you can kind of either add the heat when you need it, I think will be fantastic for it. So definitely, I think sporting events, I think this will be coming with me on some sporting events for it this fall. So I do have several other pockets. So I back the Hot Pocket. I've got a Niox hammock. I've got some puffle. What else do I have? Niox hammock, puffle. I think it's the big stuff. Your hammocks. I love how flat you can get in a hammock. I think it's really cool. You guys create these really innovative products that I think folks, not just in the outdoor market, but just that anyone can kind of use and do, and really kind of come in and disrupt it. So the hammock I had before you guys, which I loved, it was still an offset hammock. I could get a pretty flat lay in it. But the first time I laid in a Niox hammock at the Chattanooga Farmers Market, you had one set up, and I was just blown away with how comfortable that hammock was, even compared to my previous hammock. And I was like, yep, right away I knew I needed one of those guys for it. But yeah, I love what you guys do. I love your products, and I think it's absolutely amazing. So I think for this, the instant heat, obviously that's the purpose of the jacket as it goes through. But I love the breathability of it, because if a jacket's not breathable, it's hard to, as I say, live in. A lot of the jackets, especially at that time, you put it on, that middle layer, and you wind up usually never taking it off. So having something that's breathable, that's comfortable, I think will be huge for it. It's a very clean design. It's not really cluttered. I love that it has so many pockets, but they're not like just blatantly obvious kind of everywhere, kind of looking at them. I really like the two-tone look on that one. I really think that's really cool. I do like that two-tone kind of look for it. It looks very comfortable, and me personally, I'm going for the pullover, but I know a lot of folks here in the office, we've actually been discussing it, and I think most of them are going for the jacket, the full zip. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think these are cool. Can't wait for these.
Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Hitchcock, for chatting with us and helping us share some of the unique possibilities with Ember. We do have a few questions. I've got them written out for you guys. That some people, popular questions that people have been asking. But if you haven't had a chance to ask any questions or anything, go ahead and drop them below, and I'll get to those at the end. So one major question that we get is, I work outside more often than not. Is Ember fully weatherproof? And Ember is made with a hydrophobic DWR material, or durable water resistant fabric. And so the exterior exactly will repel water. However, it's not waterproof or seam sealed. So catching yourself in like a light shower or in the snow or something like that, it'll be good. But if you try to run out in a monsoon, you might want to have a waterproof shell added on, which it is thin enough to totally comfortably add on that waterproof shell. So another big one, I know a lot of people travel specifically for work, and so one question is this TSA approved? And yes, Ember and the Power Packs are both TSA approved. Casey actually took both of those in his carry-on whenever he was going back and forth between the PNW to film for our video and for some of the other content that we got for this Kickstarter. So yes, they're TSA approved. You can put them in your carry-on. You don't have to check them or anything. And that way you can even use them whenever you're on a cold plane or wherever. So let's say another one is, I'm always moving. So is this power pack fastened in the pocket somehow? Or does it slosh around? And also, how is the weight difference with the battery? So to address the first question, we do have an inner elastic sleeve that the power pack can slip into to keep it in place in that side pocket, so that keep it in place when you're moving, but it is still fully accessible. As for the weight balance, so you don't really feel it with the UL, the smaller power pack. However, the XL is a bit more noticeable, but to counter that, we've added a side pocket on your other side it's good for your phone or anything else to kind of help balance out that weight if you are using the XL with it. So another really popular question I did want to cover is the length of the jacket long enough to cover my bum? And depending on how tall you are, Ember will either come to the top or the middle of your bum. Our sizing guides that will come out after the Kickstarter is over November 14th. We'll send out our post-campaign survey, and this is where we will have our detailed sizing guide, and you will be able to get a better understanding of how Ember will fit to your body, so that you can effectively choose the right size for you. So no worries on that yet. You'll be able to address that when during the post-campaign survey after the Kickstarter. So Yeah. Last one I wanted to address is I work in a freezer truck every day and have to wear multiple bulky jackets just to stay warm. What's Ember's max temperature, and will it keep me warm in extreme temps? So, really good question. Ember has 2 heat settings. It's a high and low heat setting. So you get that first high 15-minute burst, and that that setting maxes out at about 145 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the low setting is more of a resting temperature of about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so that you can kind of turn it on that low setting if you want to be kept warm for a longer amount of time, if you're whatever you're doing. So when the temperature does drop, Ember is going to be able to power a larger temperature difference. And so, for example, during one of our tests, we were in a walk-in freezer that got down to about 5 degrees Fahrenheit, and Ember's heat panels were fluctuating between 85 and 90 degrees. So combine that with your body and the conducting graphene insulation, and you're going to be pretty toasty. So yeah, those are some of the more popular questions that we got that I wanted to go ahead and address before we tackled any of your questions. So yeah, give me a second. I'm going to go through here and see. You guys ain't got any questions for us? No worries. Well, if you guys do end up having a question, you can always reach out to us on our Facebook page. We also have our countdown group, Countdown to Kickstarter number 7. Be sure to join that as well to get some of the insight. Ask any questions that you have there. We get to them as often as we can. So thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Let's show some love to these people who commented. So we.
Oh yeah. Oh, Mr. Matthew, thanks for joining us, dude. Sweet. We got Carrie in here with us. Thank you so much. Got Julie. Hey, Julie. Ben McIrish, our dude, what's going on? How's it going? Thank you guys so much for joining us. Seriously, this is awesome. Hello, Kevin. What's going on? Hello. Don Steve. Where are the heat panels located? Got a question. So right now we've got the heat panel located in the chest area, in your core. And so you just have that one panel starting out here, and then because of the graphene insulation that we have, it's going to conduct that heat from that single heat panel throughout the rest of the jacket. So that's why we have that one right there in the core. So Ben McIrish, pit vents. So are your pits gonna get sweaty? We do have these we call it flow vents and stretch vents. So the more you move, the more that this fabric is able to stretch and allow for good airflow, so that you don't have to worry about overheating or getting a little too sweaty, along with the antimicrobial bamboo that's also in there that'll wick that sweat away, so you don't have to worry about overheating, so your pits are good. What's up, Bradley Magner? What's up? How's it going? Yeah, so thank you guys so much for your questions. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you have any other questions at any point, don't hesitate to message us, comment on a post. We will get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, thank you so much. Be sure to check out Ember on Kickstarter. We'll see you guys soon.